Yay, we're here again. I love that we're going twice a month. I really, really do. I hope you two ladies do. Oh, Charlotte just disappeared.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. Well, she'll be back. Technical difficulties.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
There's
There she is.
I could hear you the whole time. I don't know what's going on. It's just bad cell
It's
phones.
okay.
You
I
know the
say
way to
technical difficulties.
go.
Yep, yep. It's okay. So, how are you ladies doing? Happy Wednesday.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I'm a little jealous of where you guys probably both are. It is currently, it's 7 o'clock here and it's still 95 degrees.
Oh,
Feels like it's 100 in the sun right now. It's
yeah.
hot over here in the eastern side of the United States.
It
That
will
is
be here soon, living in the high desert. Give it another week or two, and we will be at about 100, 105, and 80 at night. But right now it's 85, and it cools down to about 65 at night. So very fortunate. It's not going to last much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of feels
I would
like
take
fall
that.
right now.
So what is the high for
Oh.
you where you're at, Karen? What would be a normal high day? Not like a creepy high day, but a normal high day.
Yeah, in the summer we're usually high 90s. But we are also having a little bit of mild weather right now, just for a couple of days. I mean, it's
Yep.
great. Been working
Take
out.
it.
Yeah, exactly. So we've been hitting the pool deck at about 6:30 in the morning, and actually need a little sweatshirt on us to, these last couple of days. So
Yeah.
been good.
Enjoy it while it
Yeah,
lasts.
I'm jealous. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Feel like I might need to make a trip out west. We might need to go somewhere where it's
Well,
80 in
we
the
are
high.
in October.
That's true. I feel like we somehow missed that good timing.
It's going to be
You know?
beautiful.
It is.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
Hey,
think
David, I
July
see
and
you're logging
August
in.
might be
Let me say a big hello to
the
David.
most quintessential days for the
So
West
when is
Coast.
whale watching in Puget Sound? Is that in October by any chance? Or are we past whale watching?
I don't know.
I thought it was in the winter, but that is from old information that I'm just recalling.
All right,
I'm looking
Karen,
it up right now.
go Google it.
Yep.
I know that we're going to do some good hiking, and we're going to, some beautiful hiking and some fun shopping and all that kind of
Yes.
stuff.
Lots of big
on our
trees.
recharge day, not our work day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anybody
Lots and
listening,
lots of
we're
big
having
trees.
a retreat in October it's 2 solid days. Like 4. Let me fly in 2 solid days and then fly out, or stay longer if you want. But the first day is pure business planning, like looking in the rearview mirror at 2025, then looking ahead for 2026, having a solid plan. And then the second day is pure recharge.
Looking forward to it.
I
With
am.
big
And thank you,
trees,
Karen.
big trees and lots of sunsets. That's what we're going to get while we're there, which is going to be amazing.
Yep. And Charlotte gets pure credit for the Airbnb.
Yeah.
It is
That's
amazing.
Don't give me credit. We haven't gone to check it out yet. We think it's going to be great. Give me
Right.
credit after that we get to the Airbnb and it's not like, falling down in a shanty.
Yeah.
So it's typically May. However, they have been seeing May through September.
Okay. So we're not going to really.
spring.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So probably not.
Probably not. But you never know. Maybe there'll be a few stragglers that have a weak start button
Yeah.
for migration.
That might be a really bad thing, Tanya. We should not hope that they have a bad start and go button. We don't want that.
We don't want that in anybody.
Right.
No, that's true. That's right. That's right. Especially when it, might be life or death. Things like that.
Mhm. Yep.
Actually, maybe we should all think of that as the life or death. We have to think of everything with our go button as life or death if we don't do it.
Yep.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
Just
I
be like
know.
the whales. Be like the
Yep.
whales.
Be like the whales. Well, I don't know if you watched Ted Lasso or not. This has nothing to do with the start button. However, I coach somebody that has a Post-it note on their computer that says "Be a goldfish."
Mm-hmm.
So do you know
Have a
that
memory of a
saying?
goldfish.
Have the
Uh-huh.
memory of a goldfish. So it says "Be a goldfish."
That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah. If you haven't watched Ted Lasso, Karen, you and Mike need to watch it.
I have
You really
not.
do.
All right.
Yeah.
Really? Oh yeah, it's amazing. And they're about to come out with a new season too.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at us not talk real estate today.
I
Uh-huh.
know.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah,
just made
that's
a
coming
note.
back out.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
you
I'm going to be
definitely need to
so
watch it.
excited. I'm going to be so
Yep. And
excited. I
Rachel
have
and
watched
Ted
Ted.
are confirmed back, so it'll be
Wow. I have
um
watched it 3 times
it's
all the
fantastic.
way
Yeah.
through because there's so many coachable moments in there.
Yeah. It's good. It's
Do
just
you
such a
have a
good show.
favorite coachable moment, Charlotte, from Ted Lasso?
I probably can't say it on the air because it's Roy Kent. It's
Yes,
a
you can. Well, so
I
just
love
spell it.
everything Roy Kent. But the birthday moment where where Jamie got Roy the hat, that just the whole moment where their character development went from being
Yep.
enemies to tolerating each other to actually leaning on each other.
Yeah.
Their whole relationship is fantastic,
Yeah.
but his reaction to that was probably one of my favorite reactions. But it does involve Roy Kent, which means it involves a lot of F
The
words.
F words.
So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So Roy Kent is my favorite, but however, my other favorite is Rebecca. There's so many
Oh yeah.
sentences and moments with Rebecca. In fact, I think I've even sent Karen to Taylor, some of the Rebecca videos because she leans into her inner strength, right? And then
Mhm.
exudes it, right? So and boss ass bitch. That's my mug. Boss ass bitch.
All right. I'm convinced. I'll
Yeah,
Yep.
it
Yep.
really is great.
All right, so let's change the topic. So coaching, interesting. And let's not talk about the market today. How about that?
oh, thank
It's
goodness.
Wouldn't
actually
that be
good today,
nice?
but okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little break.
However, I want to talk about personal growth because I do coach a lot of realtors. That definitely is my sweet spot, and lenders and brokers and a roofer and financial planner and some executives from Fortune 500 companies that I'm not allowed to state, but you guys know, right? There's probably 10 executives that I coach, and interesting how much personal growth I get pushback on from them. So we've been coaching on it lately, and I'm actually starting to move the Titanic.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I remember my coach years ago telling me, Tanya, your business will grow in relation to your own personal growth. And I don't know that I really believed it until I went to a Brian Buffini success tour. I think they called them success tours back when I was doing that. And I remember one of the speakers talking about your personal growth and how you needed to grow personally. And the quote was from Warren Buffett: "The more you learn, the more you earn."
Yeah.
So I have been pushing it hard this week. So guys, any comments? Any personal experience on your end?
I think in general, personal growth is really hard to see in ourselves, right? Unless you're looking way back, right? But in the, let's say, I don't even want to say day to day, but even the month to month, I think it's a little bit hard to witness, and especially if you're not being intentional.
Right. So go ahead, Charlotte. Then I'll go back and ask Karen a question.
I think it's interesting that you say intentional, because my point on personal growth was going to be that the way that we measure it on our team and the way that I can see it on our team is because we do the 12-week year together, and we just got done putting together the next 12-week year that we're doing. But that is personal growth, right? But the reason you do know it's there and you can measure it is because it is intentional. You're right. If you don't have that short runs, whether it be 12 weeks or 8 weeks or something, where there is something that you need to do, a goal that you need to hit, I don't know that you see that personal growth because it is not as intentional.
Yeah. And I like the word intentional. I coach somebody who's really struggling with emotional intelligence, just anxiety, didn't win a listing and is upset for 2 weeks, right? It's just very low on that scale. However, it's a muscle we can grow. I'm not judging. It's like, okay, we need to start growing a muscle. We need to learn resiliency. We need to learn to handle our emotions, more effectively and efficiently so that we're not crying for 2 weeks, right? I mean, I've been there. I am not judging, right? I've been there. But it has to be intentional. Our emotional regulation plan needs to be intentional for the growth to happen. It doesn't just happen.
No, what comes to mind when you're talking about that is like when something hard comes up in a transaction, and a lot of people just sort of bury their heads for
Yes.
a little while,
Right.
a day, and that it's still there, right? And still haunting you, and learning to just go face it, just
Mhm.
head on, is definitely a learned behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know one of the things I do when I feel a little anxious or upset or, a client quit coaching or something, I know that I need to breathe because everybody forgets to breathe, right? Our breathing changes. I know I need to go for a walk. I need to just go for a walk. I used to walk on the ocean. Now it's 4 hours away. However, right, go for a walk. And then it's some self-talk. It's maybe some journaling. It's like I have a system. Well, you know me. You guys are both going to roll your eyes. Tanya has a system for her emotional regulation plan.
A checklist.
Yeah.
I do. And if I don't do it, it doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah. So do you guys have something that you do? I know one of the things you do, Charlotte.
Hike. Yeah. Yeah. Or
I was gonna
that's
say
my
dance.
go-to. Yeah. Yeah. That is going to be more of the like quick. If you just need like a little quick pick me up. But if I'm, the big ruts when
Yep.
it's really bad and when you just get all of the negativity and you're in your head and you realize you're in your head. Like when I say hike, I need like a good 6 miler, like
Yep.
get me exhausted, and then I get out of my head. Good music. I try not to even think when I'm on the hike. Like I want that hike to be very much not me even thinking about the problems. Like I've got to just get out of my head. So I try to listen to music that makes me think, just clears my
Yep.
head and get out somewhere and get that hike in. Makes all the
Awesome. How about
difference.
you, Karen?
So short term is either walk or sometimes just getting away from the computer, getting a glass of water, like one of those two things. Kind of depends on how much time I have, but definitely getting out of the chair and away from the computer or the phone. And then of course, if I have the time, it's pickleball.
Yeah, I was gonna say pickleball. I was like, no way you were getting through this conversation without pickleball.
And it's great because even if you wanted to have a conversation about something serious, there's no way to do it. So that's
Right.
awesome. If I'm in a situation where I can't go play pickleball, I will turn on some comedy. I use Pandora radio still, and so I'll just turn on the comedy channel and laugh because that's super helpful.
And they say that is absolutely the cure-all for all of those things. So if you can find the thing that makes you laugh all the time, it's good.
And
for that.
what I'm hearing from all three of us is that we need to be present in the moment. Like I'm present in my walk and my breathing. Charlotte's present with her hike and her music. Karen's going to play pickleball, and you can't think of anything else but the next serve or whatever, right? It's like being present and really being present in our reality, not stuck in that thing. Because we might have to go back to it, sure, but in a better frame of mind.
I was revisiting the other day. I just had this odd thought about the way business was conducted when I first started in the business as an agent, right? And I'm so grateful for all the tools that we have now that we didn't have then, with the exception of one that I have control of, which is to take a little bit of time before reacting, replying, right? Before there wasn't that, the phone was just a phone, right? It wasn't everything else. So I didn't have stuff presented to me just, at rapid speed. And I was kind of reminiscing about how the good parts of that, right? The good parts of the slow roll with business. And we do have control over that. We don't have to reply right away.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. So personal growth means a lot of things. It's not just one, word. And I know that I have speakers that have definitely impacted my life. Right. I've listened to it and can still remember some of the taglines they had and things that that I've implemented in my own life. Right. And I know you two ladies have too.
Yeah.
Right. Be it a
And I
speaker or a
think
book or
that
a podcast.
in order to really attach onto, if we're going to say, yeah, this is an area I really want to spend my time and really focus on developing and growing myself, it has got to be attached to something that you're passionate about. If it is
Yep.
not attached to a passion, it's just not going to happen. It's human nature. So it's got to be attached somehow, some way. I mean, if you go hear somebody speak, you might hear 5 speakers at a big seminar, right? And
Yep.
one of them leaves you with all these great ideas that you want to go do, and it's because something that they said absolutely triggered something that you are passionate about, something that you already had on your mind. So I would say that if you are struggling with finding an area in your life that you need to do some personal growth on, because you know you've got to grow in that area, you've got to get passionate and find an area that you can be passionate about to do that personal growth in. Otherwise, it's
Yep.
just you get burnt out real fast and you just don't complete it. It's just we're not going to do it.
Absolutely.
It's just the
Well,
reality.
and
We're not going to do
hopefully,
it.
yeah, and hopefully some of us or most of us are doing something we're passionate about. I know some people aren't, right? They're in a job so that
Yeah.
they can pay their bills. I get that. However, I'm pretty sure the three of us are passionate about what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
that's
know,
very true.
something comes to mind, Charlotte, with you talking about the speaker, you know, that there has to be a connection to your passion, right? And I think the interesting thing is when that happens, it's often that we say, I felt like they were talking just to me, right? And I hear that from myself and I hear it from people around me. And it's not always with the same speaker because they hit someone else's passion.
Right.
That's
I
right.
happen to be, so I'm going to, it's not really a brag, but it's definitely a proud moment. I sent out my newsletter goes out once a week. And on my last newsletter, I got a comment from somebody that said, it felt like you were writing just to me. I'm like, yay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
It means you
Super
were
cool.
definitely talking into something they were passionate about. That's very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And another thing about the personal growth, you said that you can't. I think the quote is something like you can't your business won't outgrow your basically your personal
Correct.
growth, right? There's
Yep.
I'm not saying that right, but that's the idea.
Yeah.
And I think there's something about learning it, but I really think that the personal growth, I think it's about confidence. There's one thing that I've learned is that it's when you have confidence in a situation, that's when you get more sales. That's when you alone. That's how you do.
Yep. Charlotte, you don't have a connect. Okay, you came back for a minute there. You were cutting out, but you have a lag now. Yeah.
Good old Kentucky
So
driving.
I remember a speaker.
Sorry.
I can't think of her. I can't remember her name. And maybe you ladies were there at the seminar. It was a lady who was the first woman guided team. So she was the first woman that climbed Mount Everest. I know. I can
see her face.
Allison Levine.
Allison.
Hey, look at that teamwork, Karen.
Levine.
Yep. Hey,
to the
right.
bright pink shirt on. That was
I
amazing.
remember her speaking and saying, so this is what spoke to me at the time, and I was just becoming a coach. Saying when you climb Mount Everest, you go up, and then you have to go back down, right? And then you go back up further, but then you still have to come back down, right? And I'm like, oh, that's what it feels like right now in my business. Yeah.
Yeah, I will never forget that. And I had never heard that before. I'd never listened to anyone talk about that type of climb. And the first thing I remember is like, wow, how would you get the gumption to go back up? I know. Right? Well, you do. If that's where your goal's at, you're going to go back.
Yeah. However, it's okay to go backwards, really right? Tight. And then you go forward even further, and then you might go backwards again. And that's how I felt in my business at that time. And I just so needed that validation that was okay. And it happens with all my clients too, in one way, shape, or form.
Well, it's interesting there. There's that very common drawing about how success does not look like that.
Yep.
It looks like And so, for the mountain climbing, it's the same thing. It's just more up, down,
Yep.
up, down, up, down, going a little farther up each time.
Yep. All right, everybody that's listening, personal growth. What are you going to do? Set a goal, seminar, book, podcast. Okay, I'm pulling up a question, so we're going to change the topic. Sorry, my foot just fell asleep, so I had to stand up. All right, here's the question, and I love it, from our Karen Henson. What would you do differently if we were starting our business today? What would you do differently? Let's see if I can sit down so my head isn't like out of the frame. There we go. It's a great question.
It is a good question. It's a hard question because when we started, it was so very different, right? I mean,
Yes.
what we do now is, I used to literally have paper applications that I would either fax or overnight into underwriting. It's a little bit of a different world right now. But man, I would say that when I first started, the thing that I missed was immediately starting to truly build and maintain a sphere. When I first started, I just kind of I worked for a company that I was getting leads, and I didn't do anything to keep that. So looking back, if I had years and years and years of that client base, I would have been starting off I would have had a much better long time career because of that. So I did not know to do that when I first started in mortgage a long time ago. We didn't have the cool technology. Now, even better. I mean, my goodness, now technology does so much of that for us. So now that you've got the technology, you have no excuses. Starting the first transaction, your first lead, your first phone call, put every single person in that database and keep up with it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. How about you, Karen, since you asked the question?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I had kind of revisited the same thing, right, of the fax machine. And
oh my gosh, yeah.
I think I would have invented public websites for buyers to view properties on, because it's just so awesome that they can look for themselves. However, within my own business, I would have let go of what we all consider D clients a lot sooner. Right. I spent so much time hanging on to business that didn't serve me or my growth well. In fact, sort of did the opposite. And as I say that, I also realize that's probably part of the growth.
Sure. Absolutely.
Right. So that's, it's like the idea of going back in time and making different decisions. We can't determine like all the different things that we wouldn't have right now. And you see that in movies, right? Where people go back and they decide to not go on a date or go on the date, and how it changes everything. So, it's just sort of fun to talk about, but I do acknowledge that there's probably some value there for me.
It's funny you said that, Karen, because today I was on a call and we were doing our 12-week year planning, and everybody was writing what the obstacles were going to be that could keep them from reaching their goal to do that personal growth. And everybody on the team, all the producers on the team said, it's really hard to say I'm going to put my phone down and I'm going to do it during this time frame, right? This is what I'm going to work on. But they said, but then the phone rings and you feel like you've got to answer it, because, if you don't answer it, they go somewhere else. And the conversation was, anybody can wait an hour. And if they can't wait an hour, because we do have clients that won't wait an hour, right? We do. They're gonna move on to somebody else. And you know what? You don't want those clients. It's okay. It's really okay. If they can't understand that a business professional isn't going to answer the phone every single time at the exact second, they're going to be high maintenance, high need. They're going to be a D. So let them go. Let them go in love.
Yeah, right. Let them go. And if you think about it, if you called a doctor's office and the doctor himself answered every time you called,
I would be a little worried. I would be like, I think you maybe should go to a different doctor. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
attorney, any of those.
And
our industry set a different standard, and I don't know how or why.
Yes, I don't know why the standard somehow came that realtors are supposed to and lenders are supposed to respond right away.
Mhm.
However, I encourage you guys not to, and you know this, we've coached on this. Right now, this doesn't count for a lead because you never had a chance to talk to a lead. So if the lead's going to call and then you don't pick up and they go to another lender, then they're shopping. However, if this is a client, then right from the beginning, like right when you sign a contract, right when you start working with somebody, you've got to set expectations on communication, right?
And within an hour, within 2 hours should be very okay, but for all standards. I mean, my goodness.
Yes.
Should be
So if
really
you say to
okay.
your client, you know, when you text me, I promise to respond within 2 hours, right? You
Okay.
set the expectation.
Mhm.
Okay, so now I got a tricky question. Do you ladies ask for the same expectation in reverse?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't ask for it, but I do ask about their availability and their cadence in addition to preferred communication stream, right? Because some prefer email, some prefer text. So it's more about knowing. I have some clients that are just totally unavailable 9 to 5. Great. I'm okay with that. So not necessarily a time frame, but some parameters around.
Well, you know what I'm going to be asking you next time you and I get on a one-to-one, because I do, right? How frustrating is it when somebody goes to you for 2 days?
Yeah, that's
right?
not okay.
But it's happened, right?
Especially when especially when there's other people
Right.
waiting on their answer, right? Because sometimes we are the messenger.
Yeah. So Charlotte, how about you? Do you set up that expectation both ways?
So our situation is a little different. We don't have that often because we're on a timeline and they're normally wanting us to go faster, right? For lending reasons. So we don't have to set that expectation, but we do have to set the expectation of when you're going to get documents back to us. So we 100% have that conversation, right? It's how quickly are you going to get those documents back? I need you to understand that if we give you a list, within 48 hours, I need those documents back. Don't come to me asking why we're not closing on time if you're not getting me the documents in this time frame. And we have it like multiple, we say it, we have emails that go out that also say it. Our processors, every time they send an email, it has it on there like we're blaringly obvious. We want you to get us the documentation.
Yeah. Well, setting expectation is kind, right? It's clear, it's kind. I'm quoting Brene Brown, right? Clarity is kind, and that's setting really clear expectations, and it's not just one way, right? I'm talking to somebody who's a people pleaser. It's both ways. Darn you. Darn it. Yes. So anything else you do differently? I mean, I resonate with both of what you said. I definitely wish I found my courage sooner. But again, it goes with your speed and it goes with practice, right? So I can't look back and say, oh, Tanya, you were a weenie for too long. I'm not anymore. And it took me a year or two to find that courage. The cowardly lion came to life.
Yeah, I think probably having a business plan would have been a smart idea. Sort of came as, I was learning. However, I had never started a business before. So again, there's something I just didn't even know. Like, you don't know what you don't know, right?
You don't learn that in real estate school, right? You don't learn that in real estate school, or when you're getting licensed, to go into the mortgage industry. It's not like they sit down and tell you how to do a business plan and what are your pillars and then how many contacts do you need to make and all those things that we use our calculators for.
So interesting. My very first broker, day one in the office, she gives every agent the E-Myth, which is exactly what I was just saying I was missing, right? However, I was too busy to read that book until about 6 months in. And I thought, wow, had I read it on day one, I have a lot less bumps and bruises. However, it's a brilliant idea as a broker.
I feel like sometimes we need the bumps and bruises so we can appreciate the wisdom. Like, otherwise, sometimes we don't appreciate it. Sometimes we just have to learn the hard way and have the bumps and bruises. And then when we realize, oh, that person did tell me about this, I should have listened.
So we're all still children inside,
100%, 100%.
I think I learned 90% of my
Charlotte-
lessons the hard way. It's how I'm wired.
Yeah. Have either of you
Yep.
read the
Long time
E-Myth?
ago. It's been a while.
Such a great book. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You haven't?
Yeah.
It's a good one. I mean, you personally, Charlotte, are beyond it. However, even just reading somebody's recap on it, you might find value for some new.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Well, is there another favorite book? One of my favorite books that I have quite a few. So one of them, it's kind of dry. However, it really did resonate when I read it. I was at a point in my business where I'm like, oh, this makes sense. And it's called Mastery, George Leonard. Mastery. Oh, it's tiny. It's a tiny little book.
All right, writing that down too. Now I have TV to watch and new books.
Just go ahead and take a vacation,
I'm
Karen.
still
It's
reading.
time for a vacation.
Right?
Yeah.
It is so time for vacation. I am still just getting into Jamie
I just
Nowak's
finished
book.
it. I read it on the plane. Yep.
We did.
We're
Okay.
gonna read it as a group next month.
Cool.
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
Yep. It is good. It's very simple. It's very clear. I like it.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yep. CEO Mama.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite book, Charlotte?
So
Or
many.
books? I know, me
yeah,
too.
so many. I mean, I like Dare to Lead. That's probably one of my tops. Brene Brown is so good. And then recently, whatever, I'm not going to remember the name of it. I'm going to have to come back with it, or I'll put it in the comments. I read a book on confidence in women. It was specifically talking to how the difference of groups of women that have been studied as they go into things, and how we attack things differently than the majority of men when they were doing the comparisons, and why and how you overcome it. And it was a very interesting read, eye-opening, and I've got a lot from it. Something confidence, and I will have to go tell you what the name
Yeah,
is.
you'll
'cause
have
I
to
don't
just go
remember the
back
name
and
of it.
post it in the chat for us.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. It was very good.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear about it. I think my current favorite is Unreasonable
Absolutely.
Hospitality.
Hands
I
down.
just,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Do you
Can't
know
go wrong
that
with that one.
it goes and it applies to any profession? So, Rachel's in the audience and David, it doesn't matter what you do. If you're a aspiring coach, or you're a graphic designer, or if you're an executive, because it applies to everybody. Unreasonable Hospitality, you got 3 ladies here telling you it's a great book to read.
It's amazing. I've recommended it to so many people in all different careers.
Oops, there goes Charlotte. So Karen, this happened today. I was coaching one of the executives, and he works again for a very well-known company, and he is upper management director for this company. And I recommended Unreasonable Hospitality, and he says, well, Tanya, that's for a business owner, right? A restaurant owner wrote the book. It's for people who are running businesses and they want to have good customer service. So I told him the story an executive that I coached from another company got on our first coach call about 4 months ago. And in the background, he has this big comfy chair, and sitting on the chair is Unreasonable Hospitality. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we're connected, and I'm so glad we're having our first coach call. And you are reading my favorite book. He's like, Tanya, I've read it 7 times. I live my life by it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So smart. Yes, you do not have to even step outside of an office to use those skills, right? So if you manage people, it might be even more important.
Exactly.
I had a leader long before I got into my own business. I was working for a corporation, and he was my direct report. Anyways, he was really quiet, and he appreciated everybody, but he never told them. And so I got a little paper calendar, and I put just people's names on different days, and I rotated it to the point that 6 times a year, each person was going to get a compliment from him. And I told him, nobody's to ever see this calendar, because it was supposed to be sort of spontaneous, and the compliment was, and he would just go to their desk at today's this person's day, and it really changed things for him, and not just not just the relationship he had with employees, but for him to understand how important that was, right? Because the feedback he got from it helped him grow.
Great story.
So he just didn't have a plan. Yeah, he had a great heart. He had really good intention, but he did not have a plan, and he needed a plan.
That P word.
Yeah.
Yep. We got to have a plan, and then we got to execute. That's the harder part, right? We can have the most beautiful laid out color coded plan. It's not going to work if we don't execute it. Right. That's my last word of wisdom. I guess I thought I saw Charlotte come back, but I don't see her. All right. Well, any other lasting words of wisdom before we hang up? This was fun. Very fun. Have a 4-year-old soccer game to go to in about 20 minutes.
How fun. There's going to be some coachable moments there. Oh my
gosh. The coach is so patient. She is amazing to have these 4-year-old, and it's co-ed, right? So it's interesting to watch. You know, some of the girls are right up there. Some of them are so timid. Some of the boys don't pay attention, right? It is just so many coachable moments in there. And she is amazingly patient. It is not my superpower. Awesome. There's no way.
Yeah.
You could do it.
I coached the kids' soccer teams when they were little. I had Taylor. I think they were 4-year-olds. They were under 6. And it was a blast. Had a blast. Coached basketball one year, which was way out of my league. But they didn't have a coach. And so I was like, well, all right, I'll do it. And we did a lot of yoga because I knew.
Why not?
And they had a lot of fun.
That is so cool.
So, right. And they were 6th graders. Nobody was going professional.
Nobody was going professional. Well, you never know.
Yeah. At that moment, they
weren't. All right. So Rachel, thank you for listening and participating. David, you too. I always love it when you can hop on. And we might talk about the market next time, but it was nice to take a break because we've been talking about it so much lately, right? That just seems to be a hot topic with, posts in our private Facebook groups on days on market. I thought, let's take a break.
Yes, I'm really glad that we did.
Good. Awesome. All right, everybody, I'm going to sign off. Hold on. I'm going to end.